Boom! Greetings from YouTubeville. Once again, Danny Savage, Draft Guru. Ready started breaking down players for the 2025 fall season. I think I started like 7 positions, I think. I'm not going to start dropping content till like May 15th, May 20th, around that. Don't ask me why. Just sometime around there. I had to take a break. I was burnt out. Ah, so now this is day 2 of the George Pickens trade. Calmer heads have prevailed, and it's still a horrible trade. Let me try to break it down in its most simplest self. We gave up a 3rd-round pick. How many times this past draft cycle? Yo, wish we had that 4th. Man, I wish we had that 4th. Well, next year it's going to be 3rd. But it gets worse because it's like that shiny draft pick. You could do a million different things with it. It's like a good wife, if you're lucky enough to have one, or a good girlfriend that you've had for a long, long time. Are you willing to take that ring off her finger or break up with her and give it to some psycho stripper for 17 weeks and hope that turns into something magical? No, you don't do that, bro. George Pickens already said, I ain't negotiating shit. I ain't negotiating any deal. I said that yesterday. He would have to be an idiot to sign an extension. I hope he scores 32 touchdowns. Legit, I hope he does. And see, like, the Redskins sign him. He's a free agent. Can anyone understand that? Free agent. And then I guess I should be happy because I'll get a comp pick in 2028. Who the fuck knows if we're all going to be alive in 2028? That's 3 years from now. Jerry will. They probably he probably sleeps in a hyperbaric chamber at nighttime, Jerry. You know what I'm saying? But for all the guys, all the comments I heard was, man, that 4th is killing us. Now it's a 3rd, and it's going to be an early 3rd. So, my friends, if you're one of the people out there that think Dallas is a Super Bowl team, and this was the year to go all in, ironic. All in is trading for a wide receiver, a free agent wide receiver. That's why the Joneses will never admit we're in a full rebuild, but the San Francisco 49ers and the Eagles, they rebuild every year. Every 2-3 years, they're rebuilding. I'll put money on it. San Fran will be back into it in the next 2 years. Because when you're doing a rebuild, you're building your team. You're not sending assets away for 1-year players. Does that even make sense? Help me make sense of this trade. We're probably the worst team in the NFC East. And granted, a lot of that is going to come down to who gets injured. Jalen Hurts could get injured tomorrow. Jaden Daniels can get injured tomorrow. Russell Wilson could get injured tomorrow. And then Dallas is looking pretty. If I was 6'2", I would have went to Penn State. You know what I'm trying to say? If is the biggest word in the world. So that's what we're counting on. Does anyone really see this Cowboy team beating the Rams? No. Detroit? No. Packers? No. Vikings? No. Tampa Bay? No. That's 5. Redskins? Eagles? You're probably going to see a repeat of last year where three of the NFC North teams are wild cards. And then you're going to get one out of the NFC East, which could either be the Eagles or the Redskins. Depends who stays the healthiest. But amazingly, though, too, out of our rosters compared to Philadelphia and the Redskins, I call them the Redskins, sorry, I'm old school. We're probably the thinnest at every position. They have much deeper teams. So, like I said, man, just calmer heads have prevailed. 8:05 on. The excuses have already flown. What could be the excuses, man? All the Dak fans got the that's why I want this kid. Dak should be like what? 12-5 this year? 13-4? What more could the Joneses have done that made this a Dak friendly offseason? Drafted a guard round 1, and he wasn't the best player available. What do I know? Got him 2 new running backs. I like both of them. Drafted him another offensive tackle on Johnny Cornelius. But what didn't make sense to me is that he's a right tackle, but I still like him from Oregon. He was like my 9th rated tackle. So we got Dak, 2 running backs, 2 offensive linemen in the draft. And then we traded for a receiver for 17 games. They are saying if we don't succeed, it won't be because we didn't stack the defense. But what are they going to say when in a late round running back? We got. Oh, what? Now the running backs are no good because they were late rounders. No, they just don't watch football, and they only knew Austin Gentry and maybe all they knew was Austin Gentry and T-Mac. Listen, bro, please do me a favor, man. Do me a favor. You want to laugh your balls off? They used to be, you could check them out on YouTube. There used to be this skit, the Jerky Boys, man. They would call up and prank people. Call up all these call-in shows, the ones that all become draft specialists in March. Ask them who they like for 2026. Oh, I haven't even started yet. I got so many clips of those. You got no idea. I got so many clips of. Don't you think we should have took this player? Nah, hell no. What about? What do you think, Batman? No, I think you're right. We took the right plan. I got so many of those picks. It is what it is, man. No big deal. They sent Dez packing, and it wasn't his fault. No, it wasn't. I like Dez. Honestly, like you could compare a little bit of Pickens and Dez. Dez much better than Pickens, but Pickens likes that jump up ball, and Dak does not like that throw at all. Listen, bro, I see. Listen, we have we got two big major holes, one at left tackle, one at right tackle. So don't be shocked to see us drafting another tackle last year. Uh, Next year coming. Give me cash in the house. Savage, the Pickens trade was good. Stop overthinking the trade. Our wide receiver core was horrible last year. I don't want to hear it. Bad trade. Okay, it would be a great trade if he had 3 years on his contract, but you're okay with giving a 3 and a 5 for 17 games. And that 17 games is best case. He's healthy for all 17 best games. He's healthy. So you're okay with giving a 3 and a 5 because I think we're getting back, uh, I think like a 6 or a 7 in 20, like 2027. So you're okay with that. You're okay with giving away a third round pick for 17 games. That's what I'm judging this trade on. I'm not judging this trade. Well, I am judging this trade kind of on what he can and what he can't do. But listen, I would love for him to go out and score 30 touchdowns. And he's just going to go get a million. He's going to have someone drop $100 million in his lap. Fifth round pick, a no guarantee. For you, they're not. For me, they are. So I love it when people say, oh, day 3 picks are like throwing darts out of dartboard. For you, they are. Not for me. I can find a million starters on day 3. You got to forget the draft 2 weeks ago. Look up my 2024 draft rankings. See how many guys I put in my top 10s that went undrafted, yet made teams and started. I had the balls to put them in the top 10. And how ironic. They made the teams. Brevin Spann-Ford was my 10th rated tight end. Got laughed at. He started, I think, 16 games. I had Leonard Taylor, defensive tackle for Miami, as my 10th rated defensive tackle 2 years ago. He made a stacked Jets defensive line squad, started plenty of games. So I laugh when people say, oh, yeah, day 3 is like throwing darts. Yo, the Rams must be really, really great at darts, man, because the Rams throw a lot of good darts on day 3. The 49ers throw a lot of great darts on day 3. They can find them. It's like your friend in the fantasy football league who drafts a kicker like in round 2. That's what the NFL is like. It's the same thing. Millions of teams don't know how to draft. But 5th round picks are no guaranteed. What 3rd round pick will he be better than? Pickens, give me a name. Well, you see, here's the deal. Savage, tell me the last 5th round pick the Cowboys hit off on. Okay, Deron Bland. Is he good enough for you in the 5th round? Did he fulfill all your expectations in round 5? Because Deron Bland was a round 5 pick. What's up, George? Two years in a row, we had no 4th rounders. How many 4th rounders have we hit on? We hit on a lot of fourth rounders. We just never hit on round 2 and round 3. But that doesn't mean you give it away for 17 games. Listen, I guarantee you this trade was all set up before the draft, and then Pittsburgh was wanting that 5. That's what was holding it up. And Dallas was the idiots that gave in. No other team was giving up a 3 and a 5. And then I hear, oh, well, if Pickens signs somewhere else after this season, we'll get a comp. So it'll be 2026. So then we'll get a comp pick in 2027. 2027 is like in football years, is a million years. It just blows my mind. Give me cash. They did not even sign Deron Bland. What are you talking about, bro? What do you mean they did not sign Deron Bland? Deron Bland was a 5th round draft pick who never even went to the scouting combine. So what do you mean? Oh, now the excuse is he exceeded expectations. Isn't that a good thing? But I guarantee you there's a scout in that room that said, no, he is what he thought he was. They won't even sign Deron Bland. Well, how can we? How can we? Give me cash. You tell me how we can sign Deron Bland, Ferguson, Smith, the left guard. You better hope none of our centers or guards go down because Brock Hoffman's going to be real important. Sam Williams is a free agent. Micah Parsons is a free agent. So we don't have and then Dallas fans are like, oh, we're going to franchise George Pickens. Yeah, just going to throw another $20 million. See, this is the part where this is a draft channel, bro. I seriously, it's a draft channel. Because Dallas fans want the highest paid quarterback, the highest paid defensive player, highest paid left tackle, highest paid left guard, highest paid wide receiver, highest paid safety, because they're just all they do is make excuses. Excuses. But yet, San Fran can go to the Super Bowl with Mr. Irrelevant at quarterback. San Fran had an A-plus draft. You know what they did? They threw what was one of their weaknesses? Their line broke down. Their defense went downhill. They threw 6 picks at the defense. That's how you rebuild a team. Not going one here, one there, one here, one there, one here, one there. You carpet bomb a whole load of picks on one side of the ball. Savage, so you're okay with Mingo. You got to pronounce it right. Mingo's name is Minga. It's Jonathan Minga. And give me cash. I'm just being honest with you. Dallas could have this coming season CeeDee Lamb, Michael Irvin, and Randy Moss on the team. And you're still going to get the same Dak Prescott. Now, let me ask you all the Dallas fans a question. When we had Cooper, Lamb, and a healthy Tolbert, where was all the excuses for Dak then? We had everything for him. What did he do? Stunk up the joint. That's why part of me, I just want to see all the excuses at the end of the season when an older Dak, a less mobile Dak, whatever. So you think they want to move on for Bland over his play, or they're going to move on from Bland because they simply can't pay him? That's one question. Oh, no. What's up, Eli? I didn't expect a fifth-round pick to be all pro. Bro, there's undrafted free agents that become all pro. The draft used to be like 12 rounds, man. Down to 7. To me, rounds 1, 2, 3 is a joke. You can't get those. You shouldn't even be looking at football. Rounds 4, rounds 5, rounds 6, rounds 7. That's what separates the men from the boys. So he obviously isn't important, Pickens. It's more of a factor than Bland will ever be facts. San Francisco has better coaches. That's common. Yeah, we all know that. Better coaches. Bro, Jerry's probably going to coach this season from the owner's booth. Legit. Have one of his little microphone pieces. George Booney. Cowboys should have took Tyler Warren instead of Booker. Think of what that offense could have been. Dallas never goes BPA. They always go need. Tyler Warren, listen, bro. Tyler Warren was the best player on the board at 12. Pull up round 2, see how many guards went in round 2, and they were all monsters. The guard class even stretched to round 3, then it went dry. So, and Tyler Warren is a good pick because Ferguson's walking. He's a free agent. We can't afford him. They're going to offer him a plate of hot dogs with beans and mustard. Come on, bro. If Tolbert wasn't on this team, it's not Tolbert. What if 805 on? Cash, what if Dak falls apart again? What will be the excuse? Listen, bro, I'm convinced that these Dak fans are going to be talking about Dak for the next 20 years. Remember that game when we should have won, but he threw 3 interceptions? Go all in? Nah, bro. I was like, that's like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, bro. And why is it never all in on a defensive tackle, an edge, a linebacker, a safety, a corner? For the last 20 years, last 25 years, every one of Dallas's big trades, every single one of them was a wide receiver. And every single one of them was a failure. Don't take my word for it. It's all in the history books. The draft is a crapshoot. Nothing is guaranteed. Nobody is going to be perfect. Well, Mr. Perfect was perfect. But in Will McClay, we trust. Listen, bro, there's 10,000 kids right now in the transfer portal. I've already started. I've probably broken down 100. I don't even put the college name next to them because they're gonna jump to 2 colleges before the season starts. So I don't even put the colleges next to them. I think I did like 7 positions. I started May 15th. I'll start throwing draft stuff out, but that's why I'm a draft channel, bro. To be honest with you, I cannot have the 90% of the Dallas fans out there. I can't have a conversation with because it's just now they're upset because we get 2 fresh legs. We get 4 fresh legs. We get 2 fresh running backs, but it's not good enough because we got them in round 7. Kansas City went to 3 Super Bowls with a round 7 running back out of Rutgers, Isaiah Pacheco, who I said was going to go off. And I got laughed at. Everybody's like, who? What? What's a Rutgers? It shows you who watches football, who doesn't. Some of these dudes, 805 on, some of these dudes let Dak smash. they 100% would. They would. 100% they would. And listen, if the guy had 6 Super Bowls, bro, yeah, sure, why not? But the guy's done nothing. Yo, the older quarterbacks got to be turning over in their graves when a lot of quarterbacks, when guys like Dak, Geno Smith, let's be honest, since Dak is coming to the NFL, he's made $500 million. Let that sit in for a second. $500 million. And like I said yesterday, you want to divide this team even more? Bring in an outsider, give him a bag, and let all the guys go that have been busting their ass for the last 4 or 5 years. That's team building 101, man. Nah. But that's not going to happen because he's going to be a free agent. We can't tag him. Wide receiver tag is $20 million. It's almost $21 million, the wide receiver tag. Any offer they came out with Pickens laughed in their face. He's betting on himself and he's doing a smart move. I just hope whenever he does do good and shows off, I hope he goes to an NFC team. Just so I can stick it in Dallas. And then next draft cycle, we can all be here like, I wish we had that 3rd round pick back. Boy, I wish we had. Think about the last 2 seasons, how that not having a 4th round pick hurt us. Now we're not going to have a 3rd round pick. But a lot of guys think drafting is throwing darts at a board. Not in my world. Like I said, forget this past draft. Go look at my 2024 draft. They suck at getting D tackles. I'll agree with you there. But what's even worse is they pay these defensive tackles. Osa Odighizuwa, $100 million for a 3-tech? You're 29th first to run? That was a horrible move. Horrible move. He's small and he wears down. And you think now that he got that big bag of $100 million, he's going to work harder? No. Sucks. I wouldn't have resigned him at all. Mozzie Smith. In all the Will McClay we trust people, bring it up to them. Say, yo, do you remember the phone call when Danny Savage told you that the draft guru told you that Brian Burris, Clemson defensive tackle, was the proper pick? And Batman and Robin both looked at each other with like one eye looking one way and the other eye looking the other way. And they said, no, Mozzie Smith was the pick. He's as strong as Larry Allen. He's as big as Mark Henry. And he plays like Gary Coleman. Oh, I got that clip also, too. It is what it is. Have been the same problem with the run defense for years. Yeah. And we blame Dak. Can't blame Dak on the running game. No, that wouldn't be fair. That wouldn't be right. But you also can't, you also got to blame Dak when he's spotting teams 14 points in playoff games. You also have to say the truth about Dak. Dak is great. Regular season, great. He's a great fantasy quarterback because he's king of the garbage time touchdowns. King. He'll get you 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes of the game. A big game or the playoff games, he comes out there with the deer in the headlights look, and he's done. So you can't blame defensive tackles for that either. Listen, bro, and I said it when I heard it. When you got to get put out to get a tattoo, you lost your man card, bro. You lost your man card. Is what it is. Like I said, I'm just a little calmer today, just a bit. But like I said, it boils down to third round pick for 17 games. That's it. If you're okay with that, I can't help you, my friend. Can't help you. This is why this draft channel is open to all 32 NFL teams. Kid Cowboy 66, boom. Thank you for jumping in the chat. Just quick, we're just discussing how basically trade was a third and a fifth, I think, for 17 games. And then we get back, I think, a 7 or a 6 in like 2027. But then also when Pickens leaves next year, we'll get his picks we'll get his comp picks in like 2027. I joke around, but I've been saying it for years. Dallas plays for comp picks. Legit. They play for comp picks. I don't know why. Because we wind up trading them. And I bet I tried to bet somebody yesterday, but they want to do it. We're supposed to get like a 6th or a 7th rounder back from Pittsburgh. I guarantee you, before we even get that pick back, we're going to trade it. We're going to trade it for somebody. It's a joke, bro. You got the Joneses' grandkids running around the war room. Oh, we got to get this guy. Got to get this guy. What NFL war room has children running around it? Yo, we're doomed. Hate to tell you, this defense did not get any better at all. We want to get bigger. Got to get bigger. They draft a 6'2", 250-pound defensive end, who I had ranked 10th, but I had 5 dudes in front of him that were like 6'5", 270. What happened to getting bigger? We brought in 2 linebackers in free agency that were 245 pounds plus. Got to get bigger. Yet we draft a linebacker that ran a 4.7 who weighs 220, and he already has dislocated his kneecap. And if anyone has played sports or had problems with their kneecap, when you dislocate it, it's an injury that tends to happen again and again. So like I said, there's no direction. What we say we're going to do one day and then what we do the next day is completely different. It's completely different. This is the life of being a Dallas fan. This is why I made this a draft channel, and I'm open to all 32 teams and every single college out there. But do me a favor, bro. Do me a favor. For all the call-in shows, say, yo, who do you like? Who's your number one offensive tackle? Who's your number one running back? Who's your number one safety? They got no fucking clue. They don't watch football. And now they're going to be all George Pickens. Like, they know him. Like, they don't. You think all these Dallas Cowboys YouTubers watch other games? Huh, they watch Dallas games. They stroke it off while looking at Dak play, and then they call it a night when we lose. Say it again. Runs lazy routes. Quits on routes. He's a knucklehead. You're a knucklehead in Georgia and Pittsburgh? Imagine in Dallas. He's a superstar. He's been anointed wide receiver starter too. He's going to be out every night getting all the trim he can. I can't blame him. If I was young, if I was that young and getting with that kind of money, I'd be doing the same fucking thing. I can't. I say the truth, even when I lie. You hand these kids millions of dollars. The crew I hung out with, we'd be dead. Millions of dollars. You know. I don't blame the kids. I truly don't. I don't. There just has to be a little bit more structure around them. That's that. Just didn't want to come off the hip with yesterday's video, but it's still the same. Basically, it's like you have that third round pick. That could be anything. The year we moved up for Mo Claiborne, the second round pick we gave up for Mo Claiborne to move up, that pick happened to turn out to be Bobby Wagner, linebacker, Seattle, who now is in Washington. Does anyone remember that? But I guess round 2 picks are throwing it at a dartboard also. This isn't a dartboard channel, my friends. It's a college draft channel, 24/7, 365. I'm just waiting till like the 15th. I just needed a break. But I've started like 7 positions. This year will be 1,000 people. That's brutal. Last year I did 750 and that was hard. But it's so amazing. So amazing. There was another YouTuber on there. I'm not even going to mention his name. Tried to insinuate that why do you break so many people down and only 250 get drafted? Well, I said you got to take into consideration practice squad, which is like 20 players, 30 players, injuries. Yet, ironically, Dane Brugler, he broke down 2,800 last year. I didn't see people accusing him of, why are you breaking down so many people? But it gets better. Go back to last September, last August, and look at Dane Brugler's preseason lists of all his college players. And look at my lists who I put out before him. Very, very similar. Look at all my rankings, and all my rankings came out before the Beast came out. Very, very similar. I agree with him like 60-40. No one's ever going to agree 100%. Dude, I bet you don't know. Well, I got to know something. You're in my chat, right? You know? Kid Cowboy, you're in traffic. Yeah, it all depends. Yeah, it's rush hour. People are getting out of work. It all depends what time zone. What time zone you're in. Darlene. That's such a horrible name. But God bless you. You know? I know Pittsburgh knows something I know Pittsburgh knows how to draft. I know that for a fact. And like I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again. When Mike Tomlin gives up on you, oofa, you got problems, man. But what do I know? But my draft breakdowns speak for themselves. It is what it is. Like I said, I ain't going to start till probably the 15th. 15th, I'll start breaking down. Because it sucks talking about a player in his college and he's going to be on 2 different more colleges before September starts. There's a kid out there. He's In 3 years, he's been in 7 colleges already. That's the transfer portal. It should be a full time job itself. What time is it? Depends where you're at. You gotta look at your watch. Pickens time. It's more like Slim Pickens. I've learned a lot from listening to you, Bill. I try. I try. Like I said, for all the Pickens fans, don't listen to me. Don't listen to the other YouTubers. Don't listen to those 3 channels on the TV. Look at his game film. Look at his game film, not his highlight tapes. Bro, horrible route runner. I shouldn't say horrible route runner. Lazy route runner is more like it. He is a lazy route runner. Gives up, just plain straight gives up. Run blocking, watch, he might blow up. And this happens every single cycle where a guy will do nothing for 3 or 4 years. And then when he hits that free agency window, boom, you see Superman, you see double digit touchdowns, you see double digit sacks. He gets that bag, and then he goes right back to being garbage. Ironically, Jadeveon Clowney got cut today. Bro, I never seen a guy so horrible make so much money in his career. I even laughed at the Texans for taking him number one like a decade ago because at the time, the Texans were running a 3-4 defense. And they drafted Javon Clowney, who's a 4-3 defensive end. How did that work out for Texas? But once again, what do I know? And then they got rid of him, and he's like he gets a he gets he fleeces a team like every year for like 10 million. Yo, God bless him. Straight hot garbage. But this is today's NFL, man. I've learned. Let's see. I'm gonna try to hear it all. It's Pickens time. Ooh. Listen, like I said, I hope he blows up. I hope he does. And then you can all cry when he goes to a different team next season. And I hope that team is in the NFC East or the NFC. Because then you're going to say, well, why did we only trade for a guy with 17 games? Yo, the Dak fans have a list in their back pocket. It's like, cha-ching. Why don't we have better defensive tackles? Why did we trade for a guy with only 17 games left? May 15-ish, around there, that's when the draft stuff will be coming out. But like I said, do me a favor. Call up the channels. Say, yo, who's your favorite person at this position? Tell me what they say. They don't know. Like I said, bro, snake oil salesman. Snake oil salesman. But listen, we'll get back to breaking down people. And like I said, it's a slow time now. Mini camps are happening. Not mini camps, more like NFL's, they'll invite 20, 30 kids for their last spots for a camp entry. So not every undrafted free agent is signed yet. So I would say probably within the next 10 days, every undrafted free agent should be signed. Kid Cowboys, it's a good 1 year rental. It's a good 1 year rental if it was around if we were giving up a round 6 pick. It's a good 1 year rental. To give a 3 and a 5 for a 1 year rental, that would be okay. It would be okay if like We were stacked at every single position, offense, defense. But when you're fighting not to be the last team in your own division, that's the stupidest trade in the world. But why did the Jones do it? To shut up the fan base. Because all the Dak lovers are like, he needs a wide receiver too. Didn't he have that though with Lamb, Cooper, and Gallup? So we got him a wide receiver too. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna get a board and hang it up there. I'm gonna hang it up there with the Jeff Kavanaugh. Right, there he is. That's the Jeff Kavanaugh star of death. Because whenever Jeff Kavanaugh says something about a player, the player was just straight hot garbage. So I'm gonna get a board. Like Chris Jericho, you made the list. The list of Dak excuses it's gonna be. Listen, bro, the window on him closed a long, long, long time ago. It's a young man's game. Father Time is undefeated. Jay Lombardi, boom. I think George Pickens is here to stay. They'll find a way to. He laughed at them already. Okay, but Jay, explain to me. We have Micah Parsons, free agent. Deron Bland, free agent. Jason Ferguson, free agent. Brock Hoffman, free agent. Smith, our left guard, free agent. How are we going to afford? What are we going to do? Go the Cincinnati Bengals route and pay the quarterback and just two wide receivers? And we'll score 30 points every week, but we're going to give up 45? Is that the route we're going to go? George Pickens is here to stay. They'll find a way. Well, you see, Darlene, if you looked at my draft breakdowns, they're much better than NFL draft scouts. And if you saw the names of NFL draft scouts, their daddies coached, their daddies played. So, and to be honest with you, they call guys like me armchair scouts. I could pick out better talent than plenty of scouts. Plenty. I've only been doing this for 40 years. Packers closed for window. Let me give you a text about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is going to win a Super Bowl, so you can put that on your bucket. Darlene, if you're driving, please stop driving. Take your medication and go home and lay in bed. If you truly think Dak Prescott is going to win a Super Bowl, actually double your dose of medication. Because whatever your doctor's giving you, it's not working. And I'm not making fun of you. Yes, I am, kind of. But it's the fan base like you. Darlene, I bet you never, ever heard of a quarterback named Danny White. He went to 3 straight NFC championship games for the Dallas Cowboys. And he gets called a bum. But Dallas's fan base thinks Dak is a Hall of Famer. You gotta stop eating the paint chips, bro, Darlene. No bueno. You're entitled to your opinion, but it's cool. I get it. You know. But I just don't see how you fall in love with a player, not a franchise. No one is bigger than the star. Nobody. Somebody came in after Staubach Somebody came in after Aikman. Darlene isn't what Joe Boo. Maybe Joe. Darlene, if you want, you can come on anytime I want. We'll call you honorary Joe Boo. If you want, we'll call you that. You know, he's wasting all the talent. Listen, bro. Yeah, bro. Dak window closed a long, long time ago. It is what it is, man. Maybe Joe Milton is the answer. He's a big kid. He's like 6'5". He has an arm. And if you want to get like talk football, Joe Milton throws a better call George Pickens ball than Dak does because Pickens loves that 50-50 jump ball. That's not a Dak ball. Dak does not throw that pass. The 50-50 jump ball. No, no, no. Jay Lombardi, I support whoever my quarterback is at the end of the day. Dak can't carry the load by himself, but most can't. It's team effort all around. Listen, bro, listen, Jay, we've had this conversation a million times. It all starts at the top with the Joneses, man. It is. It's they're making these decisions, man. They're making these decisions, but it's never. Listen, the only way this franchise is ever gonna change around is if the fans stop going to the games. The Giants have sucked like for the last, I don't know, decade maybe. This past season, the fans, and they did this in the 70s too, the fans hired a plane with a gigantic banner telling the Maras to sell the Giants teams, to sell the Giants because they're tired of losing. You think Dallas fans would ever do that? No. Look around preseason games. There's like 10,000 people in the stands. A Dallas preseason game, there's 90,000 people. It's like going to Disney World. It's a joke, man. Whatever. Whatever. I believe Dak needs to be throwing 25 to 38 passes max in a game. Eagles stole the 90s Cowboy formula. We need to replicate that. The problem is, Jay, and I agree with you 1,000%. The problem is that's going to take 3 to 4 drafts. And that's going to take 3 to 4 drafts of hitting on the picks. It's because we have to rebuild the offensive line and the defensive line. Yo, our two tackles, Terrence Steele is hot garbage, bro. He gave up 10 sacks last year, $80 million. Yeah, that's a great. He made $18 million last year. That's great. Guyton, I think Guyton's a right tackle. I have no idea what he's doing playing left tackle. And who's the O-line guru in Texas? That guy, I can't even think of his name. Duke Merriweather, he threw Tyler Guyton under the bus, saying basically he's lost. And he's lost and he has a long way to go. But that's what happens when you draft a kid who only started 13 games in college ball. And then you switch him from right tackle to left tackle. What do I know? Dak has no business throwing 40 passes a game. He's never been that type. He's never had that type of arm. Never. He's going to be throwing those passes, a lot of passes this year. Just hope he stays healthy. Because like when he has a lot of lower body injuries, he's going to be relying on a lot of upper body muscles and tendons to make those throws. And that's when the shoulder's going to start up again. How many was it that many camps ago where remember Dak was on a pitch count with his shoulder problem, and let's be honest, he's just he's a year older, even though he only played like 5 games last year, but you know if Dallas Cowboys did during fantastic, if did the Dallas Cowboys. It doesn't make sense. Darlene I'm going to say what you just typed. Darlene Moisure, whatever. Okay. Did Dallas Cowboys did during fantastic in free agency that you're doing? What does that mean? And I usually can read bad fucking handwritings. I got bad handwriting. I usually can read bad handwritings. I got bad handwriting myself. I can't make anything out of that. Hit the like button. He talking facts. Thank you, Gio. Okay, wait, we got another one from Darlene. She took a second medication. Offensive line, you win in the trenches. By the way, our offensive line is going to be much better this year, and our defensive line is going to be much better this year. Shut the F up. Darlene, a Xanax in a Starbucks. Explain to me why our offensive line is going to be so much better. Listen, you know what, man? I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be respectful. I'm not going to argue with a lady. I'm not. This is like I'm just not going. So we had our fun. We had our laughs. You know, P.S. Xanax is like super bad for you, man. Shouldn't take that shit. When people try to get off that shit, they die. Have a glass of wine. Yeah. I would recommend wine over Xanax though. Listen, bro, we're here. We all have one goal in common. At least I do. And my goal is Super Bowls. That's it. That's it. I've said this from day one. Every time any show I jumped on, I'm old, but it's you win the Super Bowl or the season was a failure. There's no moral victories in football. There's no moral victories in a fight. There's no moral victories in life. There's no moral victories in an MMA match. Either you win or you lose. And the Dallas standard is you win the Super Bowl or the season was a failure. That's why I've noticed, though, there's a very big disconnect between the old heads like me and a lot of the young kids. A lot of the young kids only seen Dak Prescott play. Years ago, Dak Prescott would be third string, maybe not even third string on the Dallas Cowboys, and that's a fair statement to say. She's double fisting. Hey, this is what makes the world go round, bro. We all can disagree and laugh about it, man. Way too serious, man. Listen, like I said, if the Joneses don't care, why should we care? That's why my channel's a draft channel. I'm a Cowboy fan, but my channel's open to all 32 NFL teams. I break down from Power 5 to Division 3 to NAIA to HBCU. Yo, you want to laugh? Go look at all the HBCU kids I broke down. Look how many of them made teams. It's so ironic, bro. It takes an Italian kid to break down like 150, 175 HBCU kids. At least 40 of them. At least 40 to 50 made teams. A couple even got drafted. What do I know? Try to find tape on those kids. Try to find a Division 3 tape. Man, God, that's hard, man. That's why I say you can't just open up a book in March and be like, yeah, I'm a draft expert. It's too big, bro. It's too many kids. Too many kids, man. And they're changing colleges like they're changing their underwear. It's a 12-month out of the year job. 100% it is. It is what it is. Facts. We have a night dark cloud over the star. Yo, one last funny thing, bro. I know because we're having a little bit of a laugh. Go back to the war room this past draft. Yo, Schottenheimer sat in a chair like this and did not say a word all 3 days. Do you remember when you were growing up for Thanksgiving? There would be the adult table, and then you'd have the kiddie table off to the side. They had Schottenheimer sitting at the kiddie table for Thanksgiving. He was like this. He did not say a word 3 days of the draft. That's concerning for me. I did like how he switched to play his locker assignments around, but I think these players are going to walk all over him. They're going to walk right over him and go right to Jerry's office because I give Shoddy 2 years tops. He was at the baby table. Bro, look, he didn't say a word. He wasn't slamming his hand on the table. He wasn't fighting for anybody. He sat there and did not say a word, man. So we left that on a fun note. Listen, man, this is where we just come to vent. I only do I rarely do Dallas videos. I had to do one yesterday for that trade, and I just wanted to do another one and just say I just can't justify 3rd round pick. Like I said, it affects me more because I'm a draft guy. And we were going into 2026 with only 6 draft picks. So now we only have 5 draft picks for next year, and we have to see what comp picks we get. But as of right now, we only have 5 draft picks for 2026 draft. Let that sink in. And none of our guys got crazy contracts. We'll probably get a couple of 7s. Yeah, he definitely is a yes man. Look out if things go south. Yeah. They'll probably bring this, bro. Dallas love retreads. They'll probably bring Jason Garrett back. Definitely was a yes man. I wish there would have been a lot of other dudes. And the crazy part was, his dad was an insane coach, man. Really good coach. His father was Marty Schottenheimer. He just sucked in the playoffs. Bro, there was a year, no joke. He went like 14-2 or 15-1, and he got bounced first round of the playoffs. His father, hell of a coach, Marty Schottenheimer, coached for I think the Chiefs, the Chargers. Maybe he has some of his dad's books laying around, bro, or maybe like how his father was like very close with the players, had good relationships with the players. Those are called player coaches. Sometimes, you'll get players to play for you like that. But him just sitting there, like not saying a word for 3 days, I don't know. It's like somebody put, whatever, it is what it is. Marty Party Hardy. Couldn't get past the Bills. Finally, an X receiver. That's a deep threat we haven't had since Dez. Well, we have him for 17 games, honorable mentions. That I'll give you. Like I said, we'll see if, what excuses the Dak fans make at the end of the year. Or, hopefully, the kid has 20 touchdowns. And then he goes somewhere else and signs a, $100 million contract. There's no team in the NFL with 2 $100 million wide receivers. There's no team in the NFL with 2 $100 million corners. We got to make a decision. Bland, Diggs, which one is it going to be? Got to be one of them. But you said, I want to be honest with you. The 1,000 yard standard is not what it used to be. It used to be a 12-game season. That's when 1,000 yards meant something. Then it went to 16. Now it's at 17. I'm pretty bad at math. So if you average what, 51 yards a game, 52 yards a game, you're elite. Not in my world. Not in my world. I hope Turpin gets that wide receiver 3 role. We absolutely take the top off the defense. Honorable mention, I agree with you 1,000%. He can take the top off the defense. The problem is Dak doesn't and never had that kind of a cannon of an arm to get him the ball. He'll throw the ball, but it's either going to be like a wounded duck flying in the air, or it's going to be like 12 feet off the mark. Dak has never had a cannon, Let's be honest, man. His best ball is playing school lot football. That's why Dak is unstoppable the last 60 seconds of the game. They just say, yo, go out there. I've said it for years. For years. Yo, and the nerd with the Joe Boo channel, yo, he stole one of my things and made a video. I made a video about how Dak Prescott should be put in a no huddle offense. The next day, first of all, when you're a grown man and you play with a fucking doll, yo, there's something wrong with you, bro. And then he compares his son to Dak, bro, and he has eyebrows like a woman. He paints his eyebrows like with a pencil. But long story short, the next day he has up on his channel, I've been thinking I think Dallas Cowboys, you could go look at this, it's about 3-4 years ago. I think they should be running the no huddle offense for Dak. And I went in his comment sections. I'm like, yo, blowjob, bro. If you're gonna make a video, how about at least give me a shout out? Then I even confronted him again on Twitter. I'm like, bro, you don't remember me, bro? You like to take people's stuff and you like to steal people's shit, man. Stop playing with your doll, bro. I just want to see someone crack him and take that doll from him, man. That dude's like, he's got to be in his 50s, late 50s. If you had a family and you went to a sporting event and you seen a 60-year-old dude with a fucking doll on his leg, I'd be like, yo, kid, sit this way. I'm going to sit next to this nerd. In case he starts, I just give him bow, the people's elbow right in the mouth. A doll? That's your gimmick? A doll? And he's like, oh, I don't know who you are. But what do you mean you know who I am? You stole my fucking content and you made a video on it. How ironic. It wasn't even 24 hours later he did the video. I said it. He made his video the next day. Whatever. But you see, that's what happens with Dallas fans, because Dallas YouTubers, they run out of content. Because they don't know what to talk about. I have content for days. There's 3,000, 4,000 colleges out there. 5,000 colleges. I'm never going to run out of content. Never. Quarterback falls a long ball throw. Oh, yeah. He would probably push his son off a bridge to say Dak is my son. Yeah, he's a Dak lover. Dude's weird, bro. I'm sorry, bro. A doll? Nah. But he's been called out by other people for stealing that shit too, bro. I'm like, yo, if you're gonna steal my shit, give me a shout out. Honestly, I take that back. I wouldn't even want a shout out from him, because my opinion of his football knowledge is what do they say? If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Listen, I'm glad we got in here. You know what I'm trying to say? We had some laughs. Some people dropped a few Xanax. You know what I'm trying to say in their wines. You know, or Mad Dog 2020. It all depends. Listen, bro, we got a long way to go. Don't want to hear about minicamp. Oh, he looked good in shoulders and helmets. Helmets and shorts. Everyone looks good in helmets and shorts. Training camp, I'll just be doing my draft. Probably around the 15th of May. I'll be starting to put out my draft stuff. Because this year I'm going for 1,000. What do I know? But like I said, everything's on my channel, bro. Compare me to anybody or who you want. Dallas fan 1997. He has the song Return of the Dak. I bet he sleeps with that doll. Legit. Yo, I swear to you, there's a video of that dude, man. And I think he's at a Washington game watching his best friend get beat up. And the doll has like some white stuff around his mouth. It's the funniest shit in the world, bro. It's on YouTube. You can check it. His friend is getting beat up, and he's just sitting there like this. But the doll has like mayonnaise around its mouth. I think he does some freaky shit with that doll, bro. Weirdos. Weirdos. But listen, bro, we had some laughs, we had some fun. Yeah, I remember that. That's funny. He literally watched his friend get beat up. Yo, if he was my friend, after I got beat up, I would have beat him the fuck up for fucking not helping me. Yeah, but he was holding on to that doll like, get away, get away. It was funny as fuck, man. Listen, bro, we can even do the Danny Savage comedy hour sometimes. I could even do stand up comedy. I could do it all. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in the chat, bro. Like I said, around the 15th, draft stuff will be coming out. It would have been a good content. Listen, bro, because we all know when you're rocking with the GWO. Actually, I got new merch coming out soon, but I don't sell it. You subscribe, come in, I'll send you a shirt. Then I got some super secret edition shirts coming out. And I got a few others. I can't surprise. But I gotta leave it out there. Gotta leave it out there. Listen, bro, we all know we're rocking with the GWO for life. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in the chat. Yo, it's a laugh, bro. We all needed a laugh, man. Have a good day. Be safe, everybody.